What have you done? I'm not even a third of the way up the dial.
Yep. Ozim v'zimrat ya v'yahili l'shua. Ozim v'zimrat ya v'yahili l'shua. Ozim v'zimrat ya
Page 126, Ma Yafeh Hayom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
We turn to Lechadodi, page 138.
Do you want to do my bits?
I'm not doing your bits.
Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. 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 Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lechadodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תקילה. לechadodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לechadodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני אלוהי נגלה. לechadodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. lechadodi לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי בשלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, Toch emune anskula, boi kala. Lekha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela. Lekha dodi likrat kala, pene Shabbat nekabela.
And it gives me great honor to welcome Judith Arkwright to light our Shabbat candles. And our Shabbat candles are on page 118. And Judith, you're lighting candles in honor of your grandmother,
Yes.
Leah Maisel.
Yes,
Did you call her Leah or Leah?
Leah.
Leah.
Yes,
Did you want to say a few words about her?
yes, I would like to. I did not know my paternal grandmother, Leah Maisel, because she died when my father was only 11 years old. She married my grandfather, Esau, at the Perth Synagogue, conducted by Rabbi Friedman, and they had 4 sons, Alec, Sam, Harry, and Philip. Philip was the youngest, and he was my father. I believe Leah was a very good and very lovely woman, and on her tombstone it was written, "To my darling wife Leah," from Leah, and very fond and loving mother to her 4 sons. And on the inscription also was written, "Highly respected and much loved by the entire Jewish community of Perth." I'm so sorry that I never got to meet my beautiful grandmother. She died at only 43 years old. Thank you.
She sounds like an incredible woman.
She was talented. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov, v'tzivanu lahadlik neshel Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Let's take a moment to wish one another a Shabbat Shalom.
Wonderful. I'm very proud of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what it is? No, it's not grapevine.
Oh, but you certainly are.
Don't get too comfortable, because in just a moment we will rise for the Chatzi Kaddish. But first I'd like to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional lands of the Wajak people of the Noongar Nation, and pay my respects to elders both past and present. I'd like to welcome our friends who are joining us through our live streaming through Temple David YouTube channel. So welcome everybody near and far. So we welcome all of you. Let's rise for the Chatzi Kaddish on page 144. 144.
Yikadal ve'yikadash Shemei Amen. Ve'alma v'varach v'rotei ve'anik marchutei ve'chai echad uv'yom echad u'chayei kol beit Yisrael v'adala u'bizman chavim ve'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei V'yitfa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yitkadar v'yitkadar v'yitzala Shemei v'krisham v'yifu Le'elam yinkol v'chata v'shirata Tush v'chata v'nechemata Damiram v'elma v'yidru Amen. Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
The blessing for the evening, page 149. Praise you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath glides the sail of the stars, creator of the tide of time and light. You guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, eternal our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Arabim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta, Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shavenu, Uvkumenu na'asiach b'chukecha, V'nizmak b'divrei Toratecha, Uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed, Ki chem chayenu, Ve'orek yameinu, Uvahem negei omam v'layla, Negei omam v'layla, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד, מלכותו לעולם ועד.
We may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אלוקים מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בעם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Standing on the particles of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, the promised land. The winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha, on page 158.
מי כמוך בעלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות אוסף אלה, מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה ומרים, זה לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני עמו לעולם ועד.
ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Hashkivenu, prayer of shelter and of peace and of security and safety, page 160.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעץ הטובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך, והגן בעדנו, והסה מעלינו אויב, דבר, וחרב, ורעב, ויגון, והרחק ממנו עוון ופשע, ובצל כנפיך תסתירנו, כי אל שומרנו ומצילנו אתה, כי אל חנון ורחום אתה, ושמו צאתנו ובאנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. ושמרו on page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, ביני ובין בני ישראל, אות היא לעולם, אות היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We rise for the Amidah on page 164. And after the silent part, we'll come together with Oseh Shalom on page 180. And of course, once we're finished with our tefillah, please have a seat, and we'll all finish at different times. Page 164.
Adonai sefatai titahu via gitahilatecha. Adonai sefatai titahu via gitahilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avraham Yitzchak
יהיו לרצון אמרפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני צורי וגואלי. May the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו אמן. יה לה 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו amen.
May God bring peace to the entire world. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. This week I've been hearing about a lot of people who have been ill. A lot of people who have been diagnosed with cancer. Young people my age, which maybe that says something that maybe I'm not as young as I think I am. Hair, let's not look at the hair. And I've seen a lot of friends of mine who have been in mourning. The community this week has lost a pillar and his name is Adam Levin. His family is connected with this congregation. I'm not going to do a eulogy or anything like that. I was not able to go to his funeral or anything like that, but I do remember Adam when I was in Hubbo, way back when, and I was going into Hubbo, he was leading Hubbo. But what was very real to me was, over the years, how connected he became and how beloved he became within this community. His grandmother, and his grandmother's Valentine Lewin. And so some of you may know Viv Levin and Ray Levin. It's their child, Adam, who passed away from lung cancer. And it made me think about how many people I know with lung cancer. So he's not quite my age, he's a few years older, but not much if we passed each other in Hubbo, if you can imagine that. And it got me thinking about what is my work as a rabbi? What are the things that I do as a rabbi? And so I wanted to put that question back on you, this congregation, this community. What is my work? What is my congregational work in this community? Because it's not one aspect. So let me hear from you. Connected through bereavement, through loss, There will be joy, there will be simcha. Those are the obvious bits, right? Those are the things that I became a rabbi for. Well, guess what? Becoming a rabbi is so much more. I feel like that rhymed. Gina, can we write a song on that? A Broadway production? I became a rabbi. Yeah, absolutely. Purim. Purim. Well, let me tell you about my week, because I think it was fascinating how my week began. Let's start with Monday, not Sunday. Let's start with Monday. Monday, 9 a.m., or just before 9, do you know where I was? Bizarre. I was at the American consul meeting. I was invited with Michael Levitt and Steve Liebman. Michael invited me to join him to go meet with the new American consul, who's been very involved with China and Russia and minerals. That's why she came to WA. To meet with her because she wanted to know about the Jewish community. So I was invited because America has the largest number of progressive Jews, so they thought it would be appropriate for me to be invited. And having lived in America and spent time in America, I don't think any of the other WA rabbis has spent as much time in the US as I have. So it was a good match. From there I went to Parliament House. And at Parliament House, I got there a little bit late, but in time for the most important part. Do you know what that was? The photo shoot. I was invited by Frank Paolino, and he had invited all the clergy within his electorate. All the clergy. So the Greek Orthodox fella, I call them, everybody's a fella, I'm a fella in this context. The Greek Orthodox, the Catholic, the brother from Latter-day Saints, you name it, they were all there. Southern Baptist, I didn't know we had Southern Baptist in WA, did you? Near us. But I got there in time for the photo shoot, and then I got my private time with Frank because he said he felt bad he should buy me a cup of coffee. Things work out well. So I had that time. So that was Monday, my supposed day off, right? And that was really wonderful. I look forward to seeing the photo one day. I was the shortest. So I got to stand in the front. You know, there's benefits to being short. And then Tuesday was a regular day. Tuesday was here in the office, bar mitzvah students, and just catching up on emails, which I don't catch up on all my emails, so I'm sorry if I haven't answered your emails. But bar mitzvah students are important. Tuesday, Wednesday afternoons, and Friday afternoons are just bar mitzvah students. And just catching up with people who want to meet. And it's just pretty much the same with Wednesday. Gina and I have a standing appointment on Wednesday, which I always look forward to, because we talk about what happens here in the sacred space. We talk about what's important, the music. How do we encourage young people like Emily and Sarah to become involved in the community? Both of you. Emily's. Emalim. We talk about, we have most fun, I would say, when it comes to Purim, right? High holidays are a bit tedious because it takes hours, and especially for Gina with her voluntary time. And Thursdays, I go to the Morrisef at home. And then I try to visit members. Oh, I teach ITJ on Thursday nights. I forgot about you guys. Wednesday night. Thanks. Jeanette and Andrew and Ken come in to teach Hebrew on Thursday nights after I leave all my students quite distressed, especially after the last class. And Thursdays I go to the Morrisef at home, and then after that, depending on what's happening and what time, I go to visit people. That didn't happen today, on Thursday, but that happened today. I went to go visit members of the community who are in hospital, which is hard. It's hard for them, it's hard for me, because sometimes it's a understanding of where they are in their frailties, where they are in their, sometimes their decline, depending on their age. But even somebody as young as Adam, 58, I never visited him in hospital, but when I have visited young people in hospitals, it's very hard. What do you say? And there's nothing to say. I offer a prayer in the hope that it'll have meaning, that it will have substance. And then I go from there to bar mitzvah classes. And I have to be joyful. Here's a kid who walks in, the first thing out of his mind is, where's the food? I said, where's the please? And he gave me a dirty look. I said, so then I went on to ask, how are you? And he looked at me a little bit strange. I said, you haven't come in with your usual vibe. And so instead of going straight into the Hebrew stuff, we just generally talked. And he said, why are we talking, Rabbi? I said, because I just want to talk to you. I said, we don't have to do Hebrew right now. We can just talk. And that was shocking for him. An adult just wanting to talk. And he told me stuff. Apparently, did you know this? That if you do really badly, say for example, I read a prayer and I did it really badly, I was sold the prayer. Did you know that expression? Apparently, if you do really badly, you sold the prayer. If you messed up a basketball shoot, you sold the shoot. If you did really well on the basketball shoot, you were tough on the shoot. That's what I learned today. Yeah, no, it's the new slang. Yeah, it's the new slang. My daughter was trying to tell me something about the number 67. She didn't understand it. She couldn't explain it to me, but she told me she wasn't allowed to use it. Okay, but she's not allowed to use it. I questioned her. She couldn't tell me why. And then, of course, it led to getting to Friday night services, and then the weekend Shabbat services. There's Monty's if I get there, and then the rally on Sunday. And, of course, the Busy Bee. Don't forget the Busy Bee. Did you see the skip out front ready for the Busy Bee?
I wonder what the skip is for.
The Busy Bee.
I thought it was your new car.
Neil. Neil, that's rude. Yeah, that was not so charming. Oh, very good. I don't think that's how it's meant to be used. So when I ran into somebody last night at dinner at a hole-in-the-wall place that I thought nobody would find me, but of course members of the congregation and the community found me. It was very interesting because they said, "What are you doing here?" And the whole idea was for me and my parents just to have some time, and that's okay. But this is an amazing community. This is an amazing congregation. And we're in a defining moment right now of, I don't want to say unexpected growth, but of growth, where we are trying new things. Sometimes we do it well, sometimes we do it less well, where we are experimenting, and we're doing incredible things. And some of that leadership comes from me as the rabbi, and some of that leadership comes from the board, and some of that leadership comes from the board telling the rabbi what to do. And sometimes that's really obvious, and sometimes it's less obvious. But one thing is that I will always stand for our values as progressive Jews, as a congregation, and I hope that you always see that. And I hope that was seen certainly by the couple of people that I visited this afternoon, by the different things that I did during the week. But I know that at times it's hard. And in that moment and in that understanding, Emily, I want to invite you. I'm looking at the right Emily. Look. I want to use my rabbinic moment to invite you up onto the bima. Because this week you had a tough moment where all these things were about to fall on you, and you saw your life flash before your eyes. Literally. I wasn't using that as a metaphor. And there's a special blessing. And great minds think alike. And so Jeffrey mentioned it to you, and when I heard about it, I said, well, you need to do Birkat HaGomel. And Jeffrey said great minds, but what I said to Jeffrey was it's compassionate minds. So I want you to come up onto the bima, and I can invite the congregation, please, to turn to page 371. And what is so beautiful about this prayer is it's not just rabbinic, it's congregational, because the congregation shares in this blessing. So I'm going to also invite you to open the ark, and we're going to do this in front of the ark.
Okay.
You're comfortable with that?
Yeah. Might cry on camera though, but that's okay.
That's okay. The camera doesn't know. The camera's a camera. Let's go. And then we'll segue into Elena. There are moments that are hard, there are moments that are tough, and they're inexplicable moments as to why we're able to, for you today, it was to survive that, and it was scary. And how grateful are we? Because you are a blessing to us. And so this blessing was designed for people who went through inexplicable moments. And so we say,
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shigman kol tov.
and we respond, Amen. Ki shegam lachem kol tov, hu yigam lachem kol tov selah. May the one who bestowed goodness upon you continue to bestow goodness upon you forever. May this moment of realization that you have a moment and a place in this world. That is important. May you continue to be a blessing to your family, the people that are important to you, and to us, this congregation.
Thank you.
We're going to continue now with Alenu, page 586.
Alenu לשבח לאדון החול, לתת גאולה לבצע בני אישי, שהוא נותן שמיים ועושה לארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושתיית עוזו בבתי אומרים, הוא אלוהינו אחד, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומונים, לפני מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
We turn now to the Kaddish Tom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 598. We think of, for the Shiva, Adam Levin, who was laid to rest yesterday. And for the Shloshim, remember Brian Figgis, Terry Capehorn, and Leonard Brower. And for the Yahrzeits, remember Leah Maisel, grandmother of Judith Arkwright, Nate Zilonga, grandfather of Stephanie Sahanow, Joseph George Katz, father of John and Katz and Di Drachenberg, Elias Manasseh, father of Don Ezekiel, Joan Cohen, mother of Anthony Ingram, Victoria Parker, stepmother of Daniel Parker, Eva Wise, mother of Michael Wise, Myrtle Carey, aunt of Ray Findlay, Leonore Weintraub, mother of Simon Weintraub, and Orwell Edward Phillips, father of Bruce Phillips. If anybody would like to remember the name of a loved one, I invite you to share your loved one's names at this time.
June Bella.
Do you want to say anything about June?
With my mom,
Oh.
and she's been on 5 years. And she was very special and very soft-spoken. And I was very loud and did a good job. But she was special. You know, I just terribly.
Thanks, Des.
She was a good person.
Zecher Tzadik Livracha, may the memory of the righteous be for a blessing, and let us join together in support of one another and in support of the hostages that were laid to rest in this last week. And as you can see, we've created a new table in the front. Yikadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah
Amen.
v'yamad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei Chayachon of Yom Echon, V'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala Vizman Kariv V'Marur,
Amen.
Yehei Shemei Rabam Mevarach Leolam Lamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitba'ar V'Yitramam V'Yitnaseh, V'Yitada V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shmei Dekudusha,
Brichu.
Le'elam Min Kol V'Chata V'Shirata, Tush B'Chata V'Nechamata, Damiran V'Alma V'Marur,
Amen.
Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'Chayim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imur,
Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'Mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Imur, Amen. Hamakom Yunachem Echem B'Tok Sha'ah Havlei Tzion V'Yerushalayim. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved in Zion and Jerusalem and around the world, and we say, Amen. Just a couple of very brief announcements. I'm not going to go through them all because they're in Ma Chadash. Some of you would have received it on Thursday, some of you on Friday. This my error, we hit the wrong list of who to send it to. So we only send it to 172 people on email addresses on Thursday, and then obviously we resent it, so some of you would have got it twice. 172 emails would have received it twice. The rest of the 432 would have only received it once on this morning. So of course the main things is tomorrow at 9 o'clock we have TDRS, which includes also our Netta group, which are the 5-6-year-olds. They're also on, and then services at 10:30, Monty's coffee after services. On Sunday morning, 2 things, the Busy Bee, so come along for the Busy Bee. By the way, there's a lot of wood that needs to be schlepped down the bottom, and I'm not kidding. Well, there's the 4 stuff that's at the bottom that goes in, and then right at the top, we tried to get the green bin emptied this week, with all the skach, but they didn't come. We tried, but there's a bunch of logs behind the green bin at the top. They're about that thick each that need to go down. You might just roll them down the hill. I'm telling you because it's nicer to tell you than other people. So if I tell other people, I might not be so nice because Neil, you're so nice.
No pressure.
And then of course there's the anti-Semitism rally on Sunday, which I should be going to. I have a 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old, so depending on how she is acting, I anticipate going to that rally with her. I'm not people have asked me would I go with her, but yes, so the answer is yes. And so that's on Sunday, and then of course we've got our regular things during the week with Mahjong, and then on Wednesday with Israeli dancing, ITJ, and Hebrew, there is the Shmooze Club on Wednesday as well. So a lot going on. I'm only going to go up to Wednesday, not Thursday and beyond. So friends, lots going on. Read Ma Chadash, please. Does everybody get Ma Chadash? Yeah. Okay. So read it. It takes forever to do. The graphics, I do. I spend forever. So please, take note. Our final song, and we chose to do Shalom Aleichem this evening because Shalom Aleichem is part of the evening service, home service that goes into Kiddush and Motzi. Shalom Aleichem, page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. שלחוני לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. תתכם לשלום, מלאכי השלום, מלאכי עליון. ממלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Let's head out for Kiddush. And well done to Sarah, your first time. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech she'achiyanu v'kiryanu.
Whoa. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Be the first of many. We should have done it for you, Emily. Never too late. We will do it for you next time. Your days are numbered, did you say?
That was ominous.
Wow.